So how often should you be training your abs? With never not one of these options, guys, I'm going to show you which one of these is right, and more importantly, give you 5 reasons why I think so today. What's up, guys? Jeff Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com. Today we have to answer the important question of how often should you be training your abs? Now the answer is going to depend on who you listen to, as most things do these days, especially here on YouTube. And there's a lot of opinions too, because we have 7 choices really. We know that never is not an option, because you wouldn't be watching this video or this channel if you felt that way. But we have 7 options, and guys, there's arguments made for each one. But I'm going to tell you, my answer is right here at the very end. I believe 7 days a week of ab training is appropriate, and not only appropriate, but recommended. But more importantly, the value of this video is going to come from me not just telling you how many days a week, but showing you 5 reasons why I believe this is the case. So let's get started right away. I'll give you my very first reason why. Okay, let's get it started. First and foremost, when we talk about training your abs, guys, there are 2 very different and important types of training. There's direct ab training, doing your actual ab workouts, and then for us here at ATHLEAN-X, a very big second, indirect ab training. Now, indirect ab training, guys, as I've shown you before and I'm showing you again here, it occurs when you can put the core into the type of training and exercises that you do. That is what ATHLEAN-X is all about, guys. I say it before, I'll say it again. We put the core at the core of everything you guys do. There's a lot of indirect ab training in every single workout. So if you consider 4 or 5 workouts per week in all the indirect core work that you should be undergoing, then you add into your direct ab work, which again, I think even direct ab work, guys, we should be in that 5, 6 to 7 day range. And I'll show you again in more reasons ahead why that is. We are clearly at 7 days a week. Okay, so you have to, though, consider both aspects, because if you want to start looking like an athlete, you got to start training like one, guys. Athletes put the core at the center of every single thing they do. Number 2, guys, we have to remember that abs are just one part of your core. Right? When we talk about the core, we have to consider all the muscles that complete the core. The transverse abdominis, the internal, external obliques. Even as we wrap around to the back, the spinal erectors, right? All these muscles together, guys, that is what's working to do one thing, and that's to support the spine. So if you think that these muscles can be part-timers and only contribute when they want to, no chance, guys. When your main role is to support your spine, you better be ready to work each and every day, and therefore you better be ready for the volumes that we're going to want to train them with to make sure that they're ready to do that one very important job. Number 3, your core, guys, has postural responsibilities. So like I said, if your job is to protect your spine, you better be willing and able to do that at a moment's notice every single day, not just when you want to. Supporting that, guys, if you look beyond that into the fiber composition of the muscles of our core, we find that there's a lot more type 1 muscle fibers in these muscles than there is anywhere else. Again, supporting the reason that higher frequency, longer duration training is the way to go. Now, just to make sure we get this out of the way, longer duration, higher frequency, whatever we want to talk about, guys, 7 days a week, it all revolves around one key thing, especially when you have type 1 muscle fibers, and that is quality contraction. Okay, this is not about explosiveness. This is about engaging and operating the muscle that you're intending to use, and again, in this case, making the core work. Okay, so quality, high quality frequency is key. Number 4, we get spared the rigors of frequent ab training because we often have one key thing missing, guys, when we do our ab work, and that is an eccentric overload. Right? When we look at the methods of overloading our abs, predominantly we're using our own body weight and gravity to assist in making that more difficult. But there's not the type of overload we get when we're looking at a traditional bench press and the eccentric muscle damage that can occur when we train that way. And when we realize that the growth response that we're looking for with an eccentric overload on a bench press is not what we're looking for here anyway with our abs, and realizing again that the type 1 fiber types that these predominantly are doesn't really lend itself to that anyway, we're spared the overtraining effect that we would normally get because we don't train these abs with a lot of eccentric overload, or we really don't train them with a lot of overload at all. Again, it's just about executing high quality contractions more frequently and doing it every single day to be more in line with what it is our abs are looking for us to do anyway. Okay, become more postural in nature, become more repetitive, put them to work the way they crave to be working each and every day. Number 5, for you guys that are worried about overdeveloping your abs, guys, remember, anatomically, these are very thin muscles. I talk about muscle belly thinness. Normally, we're looking for muscle belly thickness, quads, biceps, the chest, the deltoids. You ain't going to find it here, guys. The abs, again, are postural muscles, very, again, anatomically thin. Their point is to become protective of this entire region. It's not for hypertrophy. So even if you bang away rep after rep here and do high volumes, you don't have to worry about hypertrophying this area and causing an overdevelopment, right? That's not what we want. We want flatter, tighter, harder stomachs. You're going to get that if you start training them the way they want to be trained more frequently with those high quality repetitions. Okay, so before we wrap up, let's cover the 2 caveats here. Number 1, if you're a guy whose diet stinks, and you go from training your abs twice a week to 7 days a week, like I'm suggesting, you know what you're going to have? A great looking six-pack covered by a whole hell of a lot of fat. So you got to make sure, number 1, you have to get your diet in check if you want to have your ab aspirations come true. Secondly, if you're going to start training your abs more frequently, you want to make sure that you are stretching them, right? We know that, again, especially if you're somebody that sits down a lot, if you sit, your abdominals are going to flex your spine. So we already have complications of tight hip flexors causing us to fall forward, and a tight abdominal region can also cause us to fall forward. So you want to stretch your abs out. I'm showing you one really simple, easy way to do it right here over a physio ball, but you can do this anywhere, anyhow, guys. You could use a foam roller. You could just simply bend back the way I'm showing you here. Just to make sure, again, you stretch out the abs, again, rotation, to make sure you get your entire core nice and loose and keep that flexible. Okay, guys, there you have it. 7, the magic number when it comes to training your abs, but 5, the reasons why I feel you should. Guys, remember, if you're looking for a solution, and you're looking for that jump start to get your ab training in order, as well as your entire athletic training program, then head to ATHLEAN-X.com, guys. I'm telling you, we lay it all out on the line for you. Daily workouts, abdominal workouts that change every single day, a meal plan, nutrition plan to get you guys at that body fat level necessary to reveal them, and then just a smart training approach that puts the science back in strength to show you exactly why we do what we do, and more importantly, how we get the results we get. That, guys, is at ATHLEAN-X.com. You can get your training program if you head over there right now. In the meantime, if you found this video helpful, make sure you leave a thumbs up and some comments below. How many days a week are you training your abs right now, and when are you seeing the best results? I'd love to hear your opinions. In the meantime, like I said, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys back here in just a couple days.